Have you ever felt stuck in an endless cycle of dieting, working out, and seeing little progress, leaving you feeling more frustrated than before? Today, I'm going to share how I broke free from that pattern that led to a healthier, more fulfilling approach to wellness. We'll explore how shifting your mindset can improve your health, renew your confidence, and transform the way you live. Welcome back to the Inspired Well Minded Woman podcast. I'm Dr. Denise, your wellness mindset and resilience coach. Today, I'm sharing how moving beyond the quick fixes of losing weight and learning to embrace the an holistic approach to wellness can transform not only your health and fitness goals, but also how you feel about yourself. I'll walk you through my own journey, the mindset shifts that I made and that made all the difference in the world for me, and the practical steps that you can take to build a stronger, healthier, more empowered you. So, when we talk about weight loss, most people think about short term fixes, even though that's not the intent of having short term results. That's what it often turns out to be. You like cutting calories, you try working out harder, or maybe you try the latest trending diet. But research shows that focusing solely on your weight often leads to unsustainable results. And if you reflect on and think about the times that you've tried these diets, you end up gaining the weight back more than you had before. So you can see from your own experience the unsustainable results that you've had. And there was a study done by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that found nearly 80% of people who lose weight through restrictive dieting regain it back within a year. I've definitely experienced that, so I know that is definitely some validity to that study in my own experience. But the problem is that it's not always about a lack of effort, it's about the approach. And by shifting your focus to overall health, thinking about what you eat and how you move and how you feel, you create a better, stronger foundation for success of being a healthier version of yourself. And with this holistic wellness approach, um, it's the best way to focus on developing a better lifestyle habits. It's a process for progress that helps you become the healthiest, strongest, and a more confident version of yourself. So let's really be honest. If you have ever been stuck on a weight loss cycle, it's time to stop. And you are also in company of other women who have also struggled with the weight loss cycle as well. On, off, yo yo, up, down. It's almost like weight comes in seasons, right? And who wants to deal with seasonal weight gain? It's like every time the seasons change, so does your weight. At least that's what it appears, right? For some of us anyway. And many women struggle with the mindset traps, believing that they can't give up certain foods or that they already eat healthy enough. I know that that's a big one that I've heard throughout the years of coaching and mentoring women on their wellness journey. They really believe that they already eat. Here's what they say. I often hear, well, I already eat pretty healthy, right? Or the other thing was that's been very consistent, especially for those who have spouses or the children are still at home. Their concern has been not wanting to have to make two separate meals, one for themselves and then something different for the family, right? Without even asking them or telling them what your goal is to get healthy and get and lose some weight, right? So you could be around for yourself and them without even asking them. They just automatically assume that they wouldn't be interested in eating healthier foods, right? And let me say this right now. If you think healthy is not tasty, then that is so inaccurate. You can eat healthy food that really tastes good. So, but that's an excuse that we often tell ourselves, especially if it's a new lifestyle for you, right? So, or you've had something before that was considered healthy, but it didn't taste good. But that's not necessarily so. But the reality is they feel like they also don't have the time, right? Or they rely on um, women rely on workout partners to help them stay motivated, right? And these are just traps, right? That often leave you um, feeling like a failure and then lead you slipping back into habits before you even try. And that's not a place that we really want to be. But these are the excuses that, while they may seem valid on the surface, they create a cycle of self sabotage and stagnation. And with that comes more frustration. So let me ask you a question. Aren't you tired of the weight loss culture and industry thriving on you holding on to your excuses and seeking temporary quick fixes with every new trending diet or weight loss supplement that comes to the market? Aren't you tired of that? When will you reach your point of enough to move towards making a conscious decision that won't leave you feeling defeated in your efforts to being the healthiest version of your best self? When will you start making those conscious decisions? You already deal with so much for so many other people. But I'm here to tell you, you do not have to keep sacrificing yourself. You should be at the top of your list. And until you reach that point of enough for your life, it's going to keep you in the mindset of seeking the next diet trend that's going to lead to more frustration while overlooking the necessary mental shifts that you need to make individually and independently for to make better, healthier lifestyle choices. Only you can do that for yourself. And if you're really honest with yourself, let's be truly honest and transparent with ourselves, please. You will admit that there are times when you look in the mirror and you don't really like the way the person looks that's looking back at you. You don't like the way you look when you're naked standing in the mirror. But because you have this habit of this weight loss dieting cycle or working out for a season, right? To lose what some may call in the fitness industry fake weight, which is like water weight, right? To make you feel like you really done something. And then after your event, your cruise, your trip, whatever life event that's happening, the weight comes back and you don't know what happened. When really it was fake weight that was lost to begin with because it was just water weight, right? Depending on the process that you took. Um, the diet or the supplement or whatever the regimen you were on. I've heard that so many times. And to be quite honest with you, I've also been stuck in that same cycle early in my weight loss journey. I thought I was doing everything right. I really did, right? I was working out consistently. I was eating what I thought were healthy foods. I was putting so much effort into losing weight. But here's the thing that so many don't realize is that you can't see your own blind spots. And it amazes me when I work with my clients in this specific area, not as their personal trainer, but as working with them on their mindsets to really bring them fully present in what they're trying to do for themselves to improve their health, to get fit, to release more stress from their life. When I deal with them on their blind spots, it's always, oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize. I thought I was healthy or making healthy choices. And that's why it's called blind spots because we don't see it, right? So I have blind spots. You have blind spots. And all we can do when we're ready and truly serious about valuing our health and our lives is hiring a coach or a mentor to guide us through on the path that we have chosen for ourselves. Because you don't know, we know so much that we know nothing because we implement nothing. We do small bits of what we think we know from gathering all the information that we've gathered through the years, but we're still self sabotaging. And that's a blind spot. So I too was caught up in that self defeating behavior. I didn't know for a long time. I was undoing the hard work that I had put in at the gym 4 to 5 days a week with what is called cheat meal, what I call cheat meal weekends. Now, you may say, oh my gosh, cheat meal weekends. What's a cheat meal weekend? It's not supposed to be a weekend, and that's the point. I was my mindless eating habits, especially watching TV. I didn't even know that I had a mindless eating habit. Sometimes I wouldn't realize that a cheat meal is what it's supposed to be. At least that's what I kept hearing when I entered into the fitness world, right? I started a weight loss journey to a fitness journey. Now it's like, okay, holistic wellness here for me, which is a lifestyle that encompasses both achieving a healthier weight, making sure I'm healthy internally and externally, right? And being fit and healthy to support myself long term, right? I didn't even realize that what was supposed to be a cheat meal had become a cheat weekend. And that's mindless eating. So oftentimes after I watched the movie or whatever show I was watching, I'd realize that the whole bag of popcorn or the whole container of cookies, whatever it was, or the bag of chocolate covered almonds was gone. I didn't even realize it until the movie ended and I was like, oh my goodness, right? But do you know when you're mindlessly eating, right? So that was a blind spot for me that I learned and realized as I started paying attention. And so at the start of each workout week for me was a struggle. Why was it such a struggle? Because I was struggling to work off and to outwork what I've already eaten throughout the weekend. Yes, I tried to outwork what they call a bad diet. But I still didn't know, even in doing that, that that's what I was doing. And you talking about insanity because this is not just 1 or 2 weekends at the beginning of my fitness journey. This was months. It took me a long while to figure out what I was doing wrong. And to top it off, I even had um, a personal trainer at the time. I was dealing with someone and I would have to turn in the meals that I would eat. And unfortunately, he wasn't really telling me this is not on the regimen. So I didn't even know what I was doing wrong. You see? And even if I was eating something healthy that I didn't understand what food group it was in terms of my macronutrients, right? I had to figure it out because he wanted food pictures and weight Yes, I was doing the exercise. Yes, I was doing my best. What I thought I was doing my level best in eating well, right? But there was minimal correction when it came to my food. Now, I don't know if he had too many clients or the fact that I was a distant client at the time that that was a thing. That is not the trainer that I have now, right? So what I'm sharing you about this particular trainer that I had at the time is what led me to really go further and figuring out what kind of trainer was best for me. Not that he was a bad trainer, but I needed something different because overcoming those blind spots was important for me to have sustainable success. So I would end up trying to outwork a bad diet, trying to work out and correct the the I want to say bad eating behavior that I put in and enjoyed of indulgence throughout the weekend. Here I am now starting a new a new workout week, trying to undo that while trying to go further. It doesn't happen. But I didn't think it was a bad diet at the time, nor that my habits was bad because I did what I thought I knew. And I also I was eating some things because the marketing on some of the food products that I was eating led me to think that it was healthy for me. So the marketing on these processed food products out here, the marketing works. All it has to say is have some certain labels on the box, gluten free, uh, low calorie, no sugar, whatever on it. And we're like, oh, this works without doing deeper research or knowing how to read a label. All those things I had to learn how to do for myself in order to get the results. And it evolves over time. So it wasn't until I stopped focusing solely on just weight loss, weight loss. Oh, what does the scale say? And started thinking about how I wanted to feel in my body, how I wanted to be and show up in my life. The things that really changed and things started to change once I made an investment in my healthy wellness lifestyle. That's when it shifted for me, because I was on a weight loss journey. Then when that journey ended, I was back into the old habits, which so many people do and don't realize it. So it was through my figuring it out on my own and realizing the things that I didn't learn through hiring various trainers and doing all of these programs that was a struggle for me. So I was so invested on finding out what my blind spots were and how to overcome them that I had to get become fully present and fully invested in myself because I plan to live a very long time. And if I'm going to do so, my healthcare professionals are partners in my health. They're not responsible for my health. And so I took an invested interest in myself because I value my health. But if you value your health, like so many of us claim, then we have to look at how we're treating ourselves and our habits. So the mindset shift didn't happen overnight. It happened in stages. And it's important for you to understand that because you can go and do a surface evaluation of your own habits around your nutrition, around how you exercise, and when you're eating out, what you're eating, what's on your plate. You can do that on a surface level and get frustrated because come weekend, you're either going to brunch, you're eating, sitting down, eating mindlessly in front of the TV again, or you're at some restaurant dining with yourself, family, or friends, enjoying a meal because it looks good and it tastes good to you. So that whole mindset thing is went out the door, and you're frustrated and back at ground zero again. You don't want that for yourself. So I want you to understand. I want you to understand right now. It happens in stages. And that's when it clicked for me. And once it did click, everything else started to fall in place for my lifestyle to change, making one healthy decision at a time. So it's not like I went in my pantry and my refrigerator, my freezer, and just cleared it all out and started from scratch. No, one healthy decision at a time. And then I made the next one, and then the next. And then the more I learned and understood, then I started clearing out the pantry. Then I started clearing out things in the refrigerator that were no longer serving me, the goals that I had for myself. So if you want to make better choices and value your health, it will require a mental shift in how you think about food and any food addiction that's holding you hostage, which goes back to the I can't give up whatever that food product or item is for you. I never thought I'd be able to give up milk chocolate. I rarely, if ever, eat it now because I could not let chocolate be the cause of me having to be medicated the rest of my life for lack of discipline because I allowed something to be an addiction for me, knowing well that I am the one who's in control of what I put in my mouth. So, the holistic wellness approach is really the best way. And what does a holistic wellness lifestyle approach look like anyway, right? For me, it started with me being honest about where I was. That's when I took, that's the surface, taking a look beyond the surface that I mentioned a moment ago. I tracked what I ate for a few weeks, probably about a good month or so. I really started being fully present when I ate and paid attention to what was on my plate, paid attention to what snacks I was consuming. That's the first thing I did was I tracked what I ate for about a month or so without counting calories, but really to understand my habits and to spot what patterns were I had that were holding me back, that were causing me to not get ahead of my journey and that were blind spots for me. So 4 weeks, every day, every meal being fully present and paying attention. That was the first thing I did. So you have to get a reality check on how you're treating yourself. And from there, I made small intentional changes, adding more real food to my plate, cutting back on processed snacks, and choosing meals that kept me very satiated. That is key. And I cannot stress that enough. You have to be willing to do that. But in order to make the effort without dealing with this between your ears, your mind, and how you approach things, you're going to get easily frustrated and you're going to give up sooner than later because it's going to seem like it requires too much of your time, of your effort to show up for yourself and treat yourself better. And it doesn't have to be that way. So the next thing I did was I reevaluated my relationship with exercise and food because exercise couldn't be the answer for me trying to outwork a bad diet, bad food choices during the weekend. Now, here's a reality check for me that I just want to share in full transparency here, right? Because the only way that I can be helpful to you is to be open and honest about what I have done so you can get a better result for yourself. I would literally be thinking about my cheat meal, probably about Thursday or Friday, right? And I would say the whole weekend cheat meal, which is one meal on one day, not one meal the entire weekend, but it ended up being a cheat day or a cheat weekend. So then I'm going to use exercise wearing myself out, right? To try to undo that and then get ahead. Well, it doesn't work that way. And if you think that, oh, I'm going to eat this and burn it off at the gym, let me go ahead and save you the heartache now. You cannot outwork poor food choices because you can eat what is it like? You can eat the smallest morsel of food and it could be so calorie dense. There's no way you can work that off and still get ahead in the week, especially if you have a life. It doesn't work that way. So save yourself the heartache. I've already made those mistakes And I'm not ashamed to say it because I was learning, but again, I was invested enough. I was invested physically. I had to become invested mentally to understand the process better and to respect the process. So instead of working out to burn off calories, more calories, I started moving my body with more purpose. Yes, I was already going to exercise with purpose, but I had to now do it with the purpose of being healthy and understanding that the way I was doing it was wrong. Exercise alone wasn't the answer. I was trying to make exercise the answer to my eating habits. That's not how it works. You change your mindset. You adapt to healthier eating habits, and you include exercise. It works together because you are a whole person. I am a whole person. Mind, body, spirit. It works together, and that is the holistic wellness approach. Everything we do, in my opinion, falls into those three categories: mind, body, spirit. So I focused on building strength in my mind, building strength in my body, building strength and making better habits in what I chose to eat, improving my flexibility. Because when you have chronic pain like I do, when you have chronic pain in your joints are stiff, especially if you sit all day, you lose some level of flexibility. So it takes real intention to improving your flexibility as part of your exercise therapy and regimen. So I started focusing on that. And then also eliminating stress, right? Because that whole life thinking you're doing it right, the frustration that comes from doing it wrong and sabotaging yourself is stress. And Sister Leader, we're not trying to live that way. So I had to do all this and learn to enjoy the process. And yes, the once you get on the right regimen and you find your momentum, right? Make it part of your lifestyle and your success strategy for life as a whole, you'll start enjoying the process, because it's not something you're doing for a short period of time and you're giving it up because, oh, the season has changed, or you've already went on this cruise or went to that event to fit in your dress or whatever it is you chose to wear. It's now a lifestyle. So it's not a whole lot of change that happens. And when you start enjoying the process, you can also start enjoying life better because your habits are healthier, and you can enjoy the moment and then get back to doing what you have to do to sustain yourself, right? But it wasn't about hitting, so it wasn't about hitting certain number on the scale for me anymore. Oh my goodness, I was scale obsessed for a very long time, but it was no longer about that. It was about feeling better, stronger, and being a more confident in my mind and my body, because I wasn't always feeling that way. Yes, you look at me, I was a confident person, but I didn't always feel confident in my body because of the pain, or because I ate something and now I'm not feeling my best, or the mental fog is sitting in because I don't understand that I have a habit of consuming things that make me feel off my game. And when you're feeling strange in your body, I don't care how confident you are, it's going to have an effect on your mental ability to be fully present in how you show up. So those are things that I really had to focus on. Okay. Another key step was finding a support system. Like I often tell people, if you are a person who know that you do better when you work out with others, right? Go where people are already doing the thing that you want to do, right? If you know that you want to exercise at the gym, go to the gym where the people are already working out. If you know you want to walk, go to a park where people are already walking. Because chances are you trying to convince somebody in your social circle, your inner circle, to come and do the thing that they have no interest in, but you're comfortable with them. So you're trying to get them to come along with you. It's not going to work. So many people have fallen off of track and sabotaged themselves because they brought a friend along who really wasn't interested, but it sounded like a good idea and it was not sustainable. And so I encourage women not to find people who you have to convince that they should be on a wellness journey, but to go where people are who are already on it and showing up and connect with people there. It's going to be easier for you that way. Just show up and keep showing up. You'll find out who the regulars are. And it starts with a simple hello. Okay. That support system of like minded people is important for any pillar of wellness, for any aspect of life. And so for me, even though I met a lot of people at the gym, throughout my time of working out, I met people at the park when I was at the park walking all the time. You know, you just tend to meet people, right? So for me, my push partner was named Jacques, is named Jacques. I can't say was because he's still with us. And Jacques is still at it. I tell you, my push partner, Jacques, reminded me that real change comes from consistency. It comes from having the right mindset. It comes from, listen closely, getting rid of distractions and working with the right coach. Let me say that again. Okay. I just want to make sure you caught that. My push partner, I call him my push partner because I shared in a previous session, a previous talk on Jacques and his success. You can listen to that at another time. However, after he had such amazing transformation in his journey, and I went to him and said, "What is it that what did you do? Because we're both here at the gym. We're both working out. We're both doing similar exercises. We're showing up consistently." It was his food. But in addition to that, what you can't see what people do is change their mindset, right? And so he reminded me that real change, write it down if you have to, or say it with me, comes from number one, being consistent. Number two, having the right mindset. Number three, getting rid of distractions. And number four, that's equally as important as the others, working with the right coach. I learned that it's not about staying um, in a cycle of the people that you're normally around and trying to bring them along. You can't do that. I've tried it, it doesn't work. I'm not saying for everyone, right? But the person in your inner circle has to be willing. And so for me, I went where they are. Jock, I did not meet at the gym. We went to school together. And so we end up seeing each other at the gym. And that's how he became my push partner because my goodness, after you see such an amazing transformation as his, you know, all you can do is be motivated and driven based on that, right? So he was my push partner in a good way. Having a push partner is really a positive thing and an honor to be quite honest. So I had to learn that it was about staying ready also with regular meal prepping and focused workouts, showing up for myself day after day and letting those small wins build on each other. Because one of the things that Jacques pulled out that we were doing differently, where he had such an amazing transformation, and I was still struggling to get the scale to move 5 freaking pounds, was what we were eating. He was meal prepping. I wasn't. I was still struggling and threw in the towel at meal prep at the time. But I tell you what, boy, when I saw what meal prepping could really do for your life and your transformation, I figured it out. And having a circle of support is so highly important because while he was the only person I knew at the time that was meal prepping, I can say, "Hey, how did you do this? How do you make it work for you and your family?" He has a wife and children. You know, are they eating the same thing? He didn't have the distraction of being discouraged because maybe somebody else was eating something differently, that they weren't on the same track as he was. He made a decision. I made a decision. I'm telling you that you too have to make a decision. and you can do it. Because if I, as a disabled veteran living with chronic pain, can make the mental shift, you can do it too. It's a choice that we make every single day. And yes, I've had people through the years saying, well, you're different because you've been in the Marine Corps and you all are different, or you different because you have this level of discipline. Listen, stop, time out for that. Let's not hold on to the excuses that's keeping us in a cycle of self defeat, sabotage, and stagnation. Don't do that. And let's stop comparing yourself to someone else. No, you may not have been in the military. No, you may not have been in law enforcement, but you've done something. You've made a decision for yourself before. And that's all this is making a decision. So you can make that mental shift if you really value yourself. And who doesn't want to be a brain, body fit, well-minded woman and leader? Because that's really what it's about, being well-minded. We're already role models, whether you realize it or not. Someone is already looking to us for answers and to show us the way, whether you are recognized openly as being a leader or a role model to them. You already have a team running a business, showing up for people as the backbone or support for so many. Why not show up for yourself so you can also teach them how important it is for them to take care of themselves? And that they can do it if they change their mindset about the importance of living a holistic wellness lifestyle where you are brain and body fit. So when will you be ready to truly be an authentic version of yourself who takes pride in taking care of the health and the life, the only life that you know you have? It doesn't matter if you're serious now because you got a doctor's report. So what? You're not the only one. So many people start after they've gotten a report. But if you have not gotten a negative report from the doctor yet, don't wait till you get one to get started. We are decisive women. Let's make that decision now. Because your better version of yourself will thank you later. And the power to make the mental shift belongs to you. You have that power, you have that privilege to change your mindset, and you can start doing that today. So, if you've been trying to lose weight and to get in shape, but you still feel stuck, I want to invite you to try a new approach, to shift your focus to a holistic wellness journey where it's not just about weight loss, but it's about your entire life, every aspect of your life. Think lifestyle for long-term success. And start by choosing one area like preparing your meals for a few days in advance or just adding 15 minutes of movement to your day. And see how that simple change can make a difference once you are consistent in that process. So if you're ready to take that a step further, I want to invite you right now to join me on the 30-day walk to wellness challenge. This challenge isn't about making drastic overhaul or impossible changes and routines to your already busy schedule. It's about making a small, consistent choices that help you feel more energized, more supported, and more confident in your ability to live a healthy, fulfilling life. And I'll put the link to the description in the show notes so you can go ahead and join that wait list. Because, Sister Leader, you don't have to do this alone. We can take this journey together. I know that I'm far along on my journey, but this is a lifestyle, so you're welcome to join at any given time. I'll meet you where you are if you'll just get started. Tomorrow's not promised, so why keep putting yourself on the back burner? And if this message resonates with you in any way, I want you to think about three people, three people that you also know can benefit from this talk today. And I'd love you to share it with your friends and your network because together with a support system, we can reach 100,000 women worldwide within the next 12 months and make a global difference. And that is creating and cultivating a support system that no matter where you go, if you're traveling, you never know where you'll meet another sister leader in whatever country or state that you may travel to. But it's going to take for us to build a community of like minded sister leaders who's willing to show up for ourselves and take better care of ourselves. So let's do this together. So I will encourage you now to just imagine your life and picture yourself making the right decision about choosing you and making conscious healthy choices even when things get stressful. Think about how it would feel to get through your day feeling lighter, knowing that you have built a mindset and the mental resilience not only to face challenges, but to thrive through them because you consistently show up for yourself and make yourself a priority in your own life. The mindset shift, the mental resilience that comes from showing up and being intentional and present in your life is going to be needed as we continue to go forward and be our best versions of ourselves and achieve greater success for our lives. This shift not only brings more energy, but more confidence. It builds also the strength in your ability to create a better future in every area of your wellness journey. And don't you deserve it? Don't you think it's time? So, what decision will you make for yourself today? I want to hear from you. So, leave a comment and share your decision with us. Um, like I said, I'd love to hear what you'll choose. And so that brings me to say thank you to you for showing up to this session, this talk today. And I know you could have been spending your time doing something else with someone else, someplace else. But you decided to be here with me today, and I want to thank you for that. I want to also remind you that you are a valued sister leader, and I am truly grateful for the time that we have shared. So until next time, let's soar higher together. Take care.